Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have another dash camera that we are going to be testing out and doing a full driving test review on it. This is the new AutoCast dash camera, and I've like reviewed AutoCast a few times on my channel. Normally they aren't really a well-known dash camera brand. They actually only make mostly CarPlay adapters. So this is something that is new. So let's get this unboxed right now. Let's right off. And this is a 2K camera, and I try to dig in what it was the sensor type for the main camera, and I haven't been able to get that much information on it. So most likely it could be their in-home sensor, or they're probably getting somewhere, probably like a mid-level sensor from someone else. Of course, it's not a flagship sensor like we get with the Sony Starvis 2. And here we have a quick guide. And the cool thing about this dash camera is this actually comes within a CarPlay adapter. And what this CarPlay adapter does, it actually enables wireless Apple CarPlay in Android Auto on your vehicle, but at the same time allows you to get the live feed out of the dash camera, which is a pretty cool. And there's like no other dash camera that actually does this. So here is the camera itself. Of course, we have no physical display as all that gets routed through the wireless adapter. We have adjustable mount over here with an adhesive tape, USB-C here for power, charging a rear camera output as well. So here the adapter itself, pretty nice quality, feels solid, and I have reviewed their CarPlay adapters on this channel a couple of times before, and all the time they are really good performing. So we're gonna also test this out and see how good this performs. Once we remove this under here, we actually get a really nice braided cable. Well, look at that. So we get a few cables in here. Okay, so we have a smaller cable here. This one is for your adapter. So this will plug into your adapter. This will plug into your vehicle. It's a USB-A port. And they also offer on a similar cable if your vehicle is a newer vehicle and takes USB-C. So mine, we're just going to use the USB-A. Let's put this away. And in here we have a lighter port for power, a really nice carbon fiber trim on it. The one thing I really do like about this one, which I really didn't see in other adapters, is they've actually included a USB-C port for charging and a high-speed one. So really big fan of this, because most other brands, even the major big brands like 70 My Red Tiger, they always only have a extra USB-A port. So this is our main one. Once again, this is to send the power to the camera, and under here should be our rear facing camera. Yes, so this is our rear facing camera, which is 1080p. So, and the camera, once again, is a 1080p, really nice overall, simple design. And on this end we have this small AUX style connector for our for that plugs into our front facing camera, our main camera. um and the other thing I realized is this doesn't come with the SD card, so you will do need definitely a SD card. We do have an extra adhesive pad right over here, and as well as a clipping tool. So if you do need to pry some panels to just tuck these cables in, really good. Overall, everything is pretty nice. The only thing which I really don't like is at this price point, we do have several dash cameras that already come with the SD card. So this one doesn't. Of course, it's like a unique camera because of the wireless CarPlay adapter, but I really wish we did have an SD card. And overall, the camera quality is it is decent. Like, it's not as in a like a really high-end dash camera. It's pretty mid-range, but the quality just seems okay. You can see the seams in here, and doesn't feel that good. But once again, if you tuck this in probably somewhere high up in the windshield, you probably wouldn't be even able to see this. Of course, the biggest star of the show is our wireless CarPlay adapter, because this allows us to just control everything through a factory infotainment system, which really isn't possible with other high-end dash cameras. And the other thing I really like is they did actually come with these straps. So if you have extra cable, you can just really nice tuck this in, which I really didn't see once again in many other higher end dash camera brands, which are only known for dash camera, not for other stuff. While this brand is particularly known for CarPlay adapters. Okay guys, so for the installation, I'm going to be installing it in my 2019 Cadillac XTS. Unfortunately, I really can't test out the rear camera because in this vehicle, it has a weird tint in the back, and I've tried it multiple times with the different cameras, and they always don't come up with this good. So we're gonna only be doing the front one, and of course, if you think about it, the rear camera is actually optional. So for most of you, you might be only installing the front facing camera, but if you do want to know how to install it, I will actually leave a link down below for one of my other dash camera videos, so you can go over it. And the other thing, which I noticed, is AutoCast is not providing any hydrostatic pads like we get over here. This is one of my 70 mic cameras. I'm not sure if you can see it. Let me focus on over here, but there you go. There's actually an extra film over here, so once when I remove the camera, the adhesive won't get stuck to it. So just make sure where you want to install this, and you can just install it there, but I would just highly recommend plug in the Carplay adapter first to actually view it where you want to install this, and actually if you're actually getting a good view in this location. So it's pretty simple. All we're going to do is just plug this in your USB port. So mine is actually located right over here, and I'm currently using the USB-A version. As I showed earlier, you can also use the Type-C if you like. There you go, a red light comes on. We're going to plug this in, and we're going to allow on the infotainment system. It will probably ask you if you do want to enable CarPlay. So we're going to allow that, choose English, and there you go. So now we have two options. We have CarPlay and dash camera, and I'm gonna actually plug this in for you real quick. So let's plug this in to our our lighter port right over here. Okay, so plug this in, and we're gonna plug this into our dash camera. I'm going to also remove this protective film on the top, and you will hear it makes a weird noise. It means it's turning on. You can see a blue light in here on the side as well. Let's press on dash camera and see what it does. And this is my first time powering this on, so most likely it will take a little longer. And yes, I don't have the SD card in yet, but let's just go ahead and see how the footage is coming. Okay, so there you go. So as you can see, the footage is coming in. So that's why I would recommend plug this in, and to actually see where you're getting a good view of the road ahead. So I'm actually getting a pretty good footage over here. So I'm gonna put this right over here, remove the adhesive pad, and just stick it on there. Okay guys, so this is our CarPlay setup going on. As I did mention before, we just plug in a CarPlay adapter, and right now I have the camera tab open. But this is how it works. So once you have everything plugged in here, I have my CarPlay coming on. We do have a little bit of lag, but that is pretty consistent with all of these wireless adapters. It works pretty good. And the way you want to go to the camera is you actually have two icons over your regular CarPlay. On this side, you have a back button, and once I press over here again, it shows up. On this side, I have a camera button, and once I press on the camera, it's going to automatically connect with the dash camera. So now we are connected with that, and as you can see, it's currently showing me the live view, the date and the time on this side, and over here it's also showing me that it is also being recorded. And if I press on it, it like brings up this menu over here, and if I take over here, it's gonna like take a picture of it, and it will also say it has taken a picture. And here I can zoom in and zoom out. Overall, the quality here is pretty good. But once again, this is wireless quality, so you wouldn't be getting the same 2K resolution which the camera sports. And here I can turn the microphone on and off. And if I have the rear camera, I can just press over here. It will switch the view for me. And then here is all of the settings of the camera. So this is pretty good. It can show me all of the settings. And I'm gonna be honest, you do have to like press a little differently so to actually like register your touch for some reason. But here you go. Here's the resolution, the video length, the view adjustment, and this is actually the app which you can also download on your phone to like also get the live footage coming in, and all that stuff. If I press over here, I'm going to turn off the loop recording, and if I press over here, this is going to actually bring in all of the different footage that was captured. So that's all pretty good. Yeah, so this is all of the footage, not just only now, but even when the vehicle was in motion. Like for example, this one, the vehicle was in motion at the time, so then this one is going to be showing when the vehicle was in motion. But there you go, the audio plays through the CarPlay, which is pretty cool. And I can actually lock this footage so it wouldn't get overwritten. I can also delete it if I want to. And of course, to get the best footage quality, I would recommend take out the SD card, put it in your computer, and just transfer it through. But if you don't want to do that, you can also download the app, transfer it through the app. But this works pretty good. And if I press over here, it will just go back. And over here on this side is the locked footage. So by the locked footage, I mean most of the time it will just recognize a locked footage when the G sensor triggers an accident. Maybe you're going over like a big speed bump or something like that. That's when it will trigger that, and this footage can never be overridden because it has been locked. And same thing goes with the regular footage. If I manually lock it, it wouldn't get overridden as well. But if there's an accident, I would just recommend get in at that moment, transfer those files right away, because once again, 2K footage, it does take up quite a storage, and it will override them pretty fast. So that is pretty smooth, and it works pretty well, and it's just like a really unique system. And if I want to go back, I press on CarPlay, it like brings the CarPlay for me. I really don't have any audio lag, which I saw. Once again, AutoCast makes pretty good adapters before as well. And for example, this is one of their adapters which I reviewed earlier. This is the Mini Nova, works pretty good. But now we're gonna do the reconnection test. For this, I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna actually unplug the CarPlay. So CarPlay is unplugged. Here's the adapter, completely unplugged. Let's plug this back in. And so we're gonna do a reconnection test, see how long it takes for us to actually connect. And then also to just see, okay, so I just plugged it in at this moment. So usually with like a pretty good adapter, the reconnection time is around 5 to 6 seconds. Let's press on a CarPlay, and there you go, and see if it picked up my phone. So here's my phone over here, not really doing anything with it. Let's see how long it takes. There you go, we're done. So it did take around 20 seconds, which personally is not that big of a deal for me. But just to let you know, like most other adapters, like even the AutoCast one, they will just reconnect in around 6 to 7 seconds. But of course, this can also reconnect with the camera, so that is a pretty good amount. So overall, the concept is really good. I really do like the concept that we have going on, where you can also have a CarPlay, also have a pretty nice dash camera that you can also check out. But the quality that we're getting out of the footage from the dash camera is not that great compared to the competition. And there's a few reasons why. First of all, AutoCast did not disclose what sensor they are using for the camera. So they're just probably relying on their own house built or some older generation sensor. And what else I'm thinking is it could just be an a 1080p sensor which is being upscaled to 2K. Once again, that is just my observation from the quality that we're getting, because I have seen 2.5K, 2.7K dash cameras before, and they have a much better quality than we're getting from this camera. So if you're just someone who's just gonna drive in the daytime, it's a pretty cool camera. The quality is not that bad, it's still pretty great, but you can zoom into a number place from a distance. But it like does starts to get pretty bad once you are driving at night, and there's a few reasons for that. It does seem this camera may not have HDR because your own headlights actually blur out overexposure the number plate of the vehicle in front of you. And normally that is not a case with a camera that does has HDR or like some kind of software in there to actually help with that overexposure. And those headlight glares are pretty bad. Once again, at a distance, those like headlights, those billboards will just overexposure, and basically it just like leaves them unreadable. So at the end, I've actually attached a clip from like one of the Adventure N4S Pro dash camera that has the Sony Starvis 2 sensor, and also has your own HDR technology and everything like that. And there's like a really big difference that we're getting from the number plates with the being overexposure, and overall the footage quality is just way better, drastically better even at night. However, if you're like someone who just like wants a camera that you just want to be pretty easy to install, you can do it yourself, has CarPlay, like has like everything in one go, then I will recommend this camera. But if you're someone who drives at night, I wouldn't recommend this camera. Hopefully AutoCast makes an improvement on it. The concept is really good. It just needs a little bit better hardware to go with this. So personally, I think just wait for this camera till they actually do make an upgrade in the hardware. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please do like, subscribe, and share. And if you guys are interested, the link will be down below in the description, so please do go check that out.